Trader, Tina here once again from ShortMeTina.com with our daily or my daily recap. Before we get into a recap of the overall markets, I want to welcome you if this is your very first time tuning in. If you listen to us day in and day out, welcome back. Again, you can be doing so many other things, but in this moment at this time you choose it to spend it with me, and for that I appreciate it. So what do we do here? What is our mission? Our mission is to build a powerhouse of successful traders and help you find more winners. Write that down. That really is our mission, and everything we do here and behind the scenes, including our premium membership or our course, is to build a powerhouse of successful traders and to help you find more winners. We conclude, if you win, we win. In order for us to do that, please in the comment section let me know what is your biggest frustration in reaching your reaching your trading goals. Okay, your biggest frustration. Comment in the comment section. Let's get you on the right track right away. And lastly, before, again, it's not lastly as in that's it for the video, but lastly, in terms of this introduction, I'm going to link a video discussing, in my opinion, what the 3 pillars are of successful trading. Please watch that video. I think, once again, including our mission, it sets the tonality for what we do. If you have any questions regarding that video, you can either email me, tina@shortmetina.com, support@shortmetina.com, or comment in the comment section. Let's get a dialogue going. All right, let's recap the overall markets. All right, so what you're looking at right now is the SPY S&P 500 daily chart dating back to around 2017. So in the previous videos that I've done dating back to about October, I indicated that the SPY was in a range. Okay, they had 2 ranges, 260 being the bottom end of the range, and at the time the upper end of the range came in at around here. We can call that level 280 to 282. We have since surpassed that level. So right now I'm no longer focused on support, no longer focused on resistance of 280 to 282, not in a major way because we passed that. What I'm focused on right now is where these 2 arrows are pointing. Essentially, you can see here there has been resistance dating back to 2018 when the SPY got to that 293 to 295 level. We fell back here. We hit the level, we fell back here, and sitting here 293.22, less than 1% away from all-time highs. We are retesting that level. We went as high as 293.65 today, within that specified range. The thing is, for the third time, this is the third attempt, 1, 2, 3, will we be able to surpass that level, or as in the previous instances, will we have a pullback? I have my chips on the long side. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's what I'm paying attention to in regards to the SPY. What else? All right, IWM daily chart up marginally on the day, closed at 154.52. Went as high as 154.70. So in many respects, we closed relatively close to the high. Generally, when that happens, you can expect follow through the next day. Overall, not always overall. So for the IWM, as I've indicated before, things don't look completely dire, right? We're above 148 to 150, but we're still a ways from all-time highs. Yesterday when I did the calculations, we were something like 10% away from, 10 to 12% away from all-time highs, which by definition places us in correction territory. What I'm paying attention to with the IWM, obviously aside from us maintaining 148 to 150, I want us to retest 160. I really want us to drift away as far as possible from that 148 to 150 level. I suspect if we test it again, we might not hold, we might break. So I'm glad that the IWM is going up or ascending at this point. So again, we're here at 154.52. I'm paying attention to that 160 level, which is this blue line, representative of major resistance 160. We have not really seen or traded above the likes of that line prior to October of 2018. We did it for 2 days in May, but that was not sustained. So that's what I'm paying attention to for the IWM. What else? And then we have Beyond Meat daily chart, ticker BYND, essentially dating back to when the stock IPO'd back in May. So we don't have tons of data, but despite that, the stock has been in the news because it's appreciated so much. It went from an IPO low of 45 to most recently yesterday, a high of 201.88. So essentially when the stock was trading around here, I did indicate, and feel free to go and watch that video, I indicated that, you know what, the trade, despite the huge increase, the trade really is on the long side. I saw 200 in the shorter term. The stock went, it hit 201.88, pulled back, Today's low clocked in at 162.25. So we're about, I think maybe about 30, maybe a little under 30 points from all-time highs, yesterday's high of 201.08. I suspect if we retest that level, 300 is in the cards. I know that sounds outrageous, but if you look at the if you look at their financials, you'll see why this is 100% possible. So my eyes really is on BYND, very volatile stock. So I wouldn't just jump in here. The reward really has to outweigh the risk. And right now, sitting here at 168.53, I don't think it does. I'm hoping for an extreme pullback to go long because I see 300 in the shorter term again. If we can at some point surpass that high of 201.88. What else? All right, and then we have ticker SNAP daily chart. Closed at 140. Pardon, what am I saying? Closed at $14.72. The low clocked in at 14.46. Mad day, but considering the stock was up north of 12% yesterday, this is fine as long as we can trade above that $12.50, $13 resistance level. I think things are okay. Full disclaimer: I am personally long in my daughter's account, my teen daughter's account, that eventually when she graduates high school, goes on to college, and becomes a little bit more interested in the stock market, I am going to gift her with this account. And so what I'm trying to do, and I at some point I think I'll do a video on that as well. What I'm trying to do, obviously, to get her interested is to buy stocks that she's interested or she's aware of. Hence why Disney's in her portfolio, Snap, and a few others. And I've been bullish on Snap for a long time. I mean, I tried to trade it for a while, got in around successfully here. I don't remember exactly, but let's say out of 4 times I may have been successful on 2, lost on 2, but for a very long time I have held since the stock was trading around I want to say high 9s. So sitting here at 14.67, what I anticipated happening is actually coming to fruition. And I've indicated, in my opinion, this at some point will reach all-time highs of 29.44, perhaps even surpassing it. For some reason, I have this as a stock that eventually will get back into the good graces of Wall Street. So I wouldn't jump in here, despite me saying that I have a $30 price target on the stock. It is still good to always focus on what is your downside, what is your potential upside. So sitting here at 14.67, calculate that for yourself versus jumping in because ShortMeTina, or Tina rather, says the stock is going to go to 30, okay? Does that make sense? I hope so. If not, comment in the comment section. What else? And then we have Zynga, almost Twilight Zone, right? I feel like these are the stocks that I analyzed yesterday, but I'm going with it because I think there's potential for gains on a lot of them. So Zynga daily chart. So remember, we got into this stock in the low to mid threes. Obviously, we've sold some, hitting some of our targets, but I really do believe in pyramiding. And I'll, at some point, maybe, I'm not sure, I'll do a video on that, just to essentially what that is, you know, rolling into your successful position. So while I got into Zynga at 3 and I let go of some, the fact that it's sitting here at 6, I want to add to that existing position, right? Remember what I said, I'm pretty sure on a gazillion videos, you want to focus on your winners. Let go of your losers. Like, don't get attached to them. If a stock is not doing what it should do, let it go. Like, don't let it go too much against you. Why? There's thousands of stocks to trade on the stock market. And if you just go back to any stock that I've talked about within the past year, I'm pretty sure I've identified personally myself at least 52 or 100 that gave 20, 30, even 100% in gains. You don't need to fixate on the ones that are not showing you a profit. Do you think that I do that? Do you think that I don't have losses? Absolutely. There are trades that don't work out for me, but when I lose like such a small amount. I'm talking like nothing you would lose sleep over, and then I focus and concentrate on these. So hence why I'm all over the place. But one of the reasons why I tend to repeat myself, or I tend to do analysis on a lot of similar videos, especially the ones that we have done well in, because I want to roll into those. I want to pyramid them, right? I want to add to an already existing position because the stock is showing me a profit. If a stock is hitting all-time highs, like we see, or 52-week highs in the case of Zynga, chances are it's going to even go higher. But to the analysis here, sitting at 607, we've bounced off of that $6 once resistance, now support line numerous times. And as I've indicated, the more a level is tested, chances of it breaking will happen. So we've held that $6 level overall dating back to May of 2019. I suspect that it's going to break. And for me, I want it to break because I want to add it in at a decent price point. So I still expect Zynga to at some point trade in the fives. However, intermediate and longer term, meaning 2019 at some point, I see this as an $8 stock, right? Hope that makes sense. I know I'm going fast, but I have engagements later on in the evening. So what else do we have? Spotify daily chart dating back to, well, let's go back to 2018, November of 2018, shall we? Up about a little over 1.5% on the day. Channel, I have a video, I will link it hopefully. If not, just go on my YouTube page. It is a recent video. I think I uploaded it maybe in April or May. How to trade a channel. I think it is relatively easy, right? No complicated indicators. Just look for a stock that's doing this sideways, this kind of range or sideways bound action. Identify that area of support, which is I call that the lower end of the channel or the range. Identify the upper end and just buy when it gets to the lower end, obviously, if you want to go long the stock. And that's essentially what we did with Spotify. We got into the trade in the low 130s when the stock hit the bottom end of the channel, and sitting here at 149.30 for those who held, or even the stock going as high as 151.26 for those that held. That's about let's say around 20 points, right? That's 20 points from the lower end. 20 points essentially is $20 for each share owned, right? And not a long period of time. And for me, virtually an easy pattern to trade. So, and it's another reason too why I preach holding on to stocks that are doing well, right? So when the stock showed us, $5 in profit, we could have sold everything, right? I'm a big proponent of holding on to your winners. You can let go of some, right, along the way, but you want to hold on to your winners because they can go really far. Case in point, ticker BYND. That stock went from 45 to about 200. The folks that sold at 50 or 55 or 60, they missed out on a huge run. Does it always happen? No, but when it does happen, what it can do to your account in terms of giving you breathing room, it's insane. So with Spotify, again, the channel. So let me wrap it up. Respecting the channel, it pulled back once it reached resistance. If it breaks out, I think this can run potentially more. So put Spotify on your watch list. What else? And so we have ZTS, another stock, right? And I'm illustrating points here. And it's how I trade. If you can trade, like there was someone who mentioned in the comment section that it's very hard for them to hold. They prefer to scalp. Now, here's the thing. If scalping or shorting or day trading or whatever your system and your methodology is, if it is making you money, like really, if it is making you money and you're okay, there's no need to, you can just listen to me for entertainment purposes only, right? Or potential trade ideas. If what you're doing works, then you don't need to change it. If what you're doing does not work and you find that you're completely lost in the market, right? You don't have a method, the 3 pillars. You don't have a method or a system, then obviously you can entertain mine. It's really interesting. And I really like to get these messages. I got an email from someone who was very skeptical of signing, this is a true story, very skeptical in regards to signing up for our swing trading course, The Ultimate Swing Trader, because he had experiences, I assume, with bad actors in the past. I mean, we know that they're out there, and people who just, in his opinion, just wanted to take money from him. And so him and I went back and forth. He finally decided to, for whatever reason, give my program a chance, and I got an email from him the other day essentially thanking me, and I was besides myself because I'm like, wow, this is great, this is why I'm doing this, essentially saying, and I think this is verbatim, your system works, right? His trading improved vastly from when he started with us. Your system works. So I really do believe I have a profitable system, hence why I'm up double digits. It's not a system where you don't incur losses, right? You do incur losses, but again, we have ways in managing them. At any rate, ZTS daily chart closed at 114.28 today. Now, as I've indicated before, you want to focus on stocks that are making 52-week highs because they continue to make 52-week highs. When I was doing a recap in ZTS, it was in the low 100s. Sitting here at 114.28, it continues to appreciate. Remember my price targets. I initially said 110. Then I said now 120. I 100% believe it's going to get to 120. When we got into it in the low 90s. Now, if you do the math, 90, 100, potentially 100, 90, 100, 110, potentially 120. That is about, do the math. I'm telling you to do the math where I should be doing the math. That's about 30 points, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's about 30 points from our entry, or $30 for every share owned. Holding on to your winners, looking for good quality stocks, which you can find on the 52-week high list, and staying away from stocks that are making all-time lows. There is no nobility in catching the bottom. Although I should note, before I wrap up, though, if you are successful at doing it, and by the way, do I have a video on that? I'm not sure that I do, but I can sense in many respects. I believe I can sense when a stock is ready to make that trend. There's certain patterns that emerge, but I lost my train of thought. That's what happens when I just babble too much. Where was I? I can't remember where I was at. No, yes, I remember. If you have the ability to catch the bottom, obviously that's great. The upside is enormous if you're able to catch those stocks right when they're about to reverse after they've been declining for a very long time. That takes time. You're not going to do it in trading for 6 months or a year. That develops over time, almost a sixth sense. You got to be in the market for 5, 6, 7 years, in my opinion, plus to be able to do things like that. Keep it simple. Right? There's no nobility in trading the hardest pattern. There's no nobility in trying to say, well, I caught the bottom. I caught it right when the stock was reversing, or I shorted it right at the top. Who cares? The point of trading, the point of investing is to make money. So if you invest and you make money by buying when for every blue moon, or, buying on the 6th of every month, and that works, then you found a system. Buy on the 6th of every month. By the way, that's just an example. Don't buy on the 6th of every month. All right? So makes sense. There's a lot wrapped up in there. You unpack it. I cannot recap right now. I have prior engagements. What else? Outside of put ZTS on your watch list. I like it. What else? All right, and so we have to go MLNT daily chart. Let's just focus in on, well, really today's price action, but the chart dates back essentially to 2018. We closed at 641. The high of the day clocked in at 727. We're up over 200% on the day. Huge mover. We didn't close so far off of the day's high, which tells me, based on volume, this has the potential to run again tomorrow. But again, be mindful, these stocks that give you 200, 300, 400% in a short period of time can easily crash 50, 60% in just the same amount of time. So you always want to be mindful when trading these types of securities, but the potential for enormous gains actually exists. So for me, what I'd be paying attention to always with these types of runners, you want to pay attention to what's going on in after hours. You also want to pay attention to what's going on in pre-market. If it's running in after hours, and I don't think that this is, but that does not mean that it's not going to be a good trade tomorrow. But pay attention to after hours, pre-market. If the stock gets going in pre-market, chances are it's going to continue. So I'm also paying attention to the high of today, which is 727. If it passed that, chances are you're looking at a $12 or $13 stock. What else? All right, and so we have to go GNCA daily chart. Didn't fare as well as ticker MLNT today. It's off about north of 24% on the day, closed at 390. Decent volume. The low clocked in at 376, so we're slightly off of the day's low, clearly sitting on multi-year support of, again, $3.90 to $4. So I don't know what's going to happen. There's a chance that it's going to actually bounce like it did here. There's a chance that this is the low and it's actually going to bounce. However, what I'd be paying attention to is, would I take the trade on the long side? Would I try to catch that 9-10% bounce? Probably not. Why? Because the stock is essentially trading very close to all-time lows. If you take a longer-term view, going out several years, you'll see that the stock has been in nothing but a perpetual decline. As I've indicated before, why look for these types of stocks? Try to find winner stocks that continue to go up. So this would not necessarily be a quote-unquote quality trade in my opinion, but there is a chance to get that bounce because, again, it's sitting on support. We had the bounce here, had the bounce here, had the bounce here. But what I'd be paying attention to, obviously, is the low of today, which is 376. If it breaks that, chances are we're going to go here, which is in the upper twos or lower twos. So I would say that I am bearish on ticker GNCA. What else? All right, so let's provide an update on JD daily chart since the stock IPO'd back in June of 2014. So you're looking at a chart that has 5 years worth of data. A lot, in my opinion, considering the stock trades every single day. So 5 years of data, that's a lot to go on. So if you recall, if you remember, we bought the stock when it got to support, right? We bought, we did not buy there, but it bounced. We bet that it would bounce the third time, so we bought it here, which is around 19 or 20. Saw the stock shoot up to about $31, a little bit over that, I believe. And then we essentially saw the stock pull back to around 26, 25. And I've maintained that for me, the stock needed to get above that $28 level in the shorter term. We had some difficulties doing that, but more often than not, it seems as though we're revisiting that $28 level. So sitting here at 28.66, as long as it can stay above 28, I do believe 35 is within the cards. And that's kind of it. So now that we're sitting here at 28.66, I'm liking the price action in ticker JD. And full disclosure, I am long. So let's let's wrap it up and round it out there. Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of this video, do 3 things for me. 1, comment in the comment section. I analyze a lot. Do you agree with my analysis? Disagree with my analysis? Let me know. I'm okay with civil debate. If you disagree, let me know. Someone actually called me out and something that I stated in error in reference to the valuation of Blue Apron. They sent me an email, which was very nice of them, but they could have called it out in the comment section. I'd have been fine with that. The reason that I haven't corrected it is because I want to go and do my own investigation work. So once I get the actual valuation, I believe I valued it at 1 billion, because that's what Yahoo Finance said. Once I get the actual valuation, I will let you folks know. I will correct myself. So 1, comment in the comment section. Let me know. Am I saying something in error? Do you agree with my analysis? Disagree? Secondly, I do videos daily. If you want to hear them and be notified the minute I upload, because for these past few weeks, they're coming at very different times, then head on over to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. Hit subscribe. Make sure notifications are turned on. And lastly, I've been trading for well over 15 years. A long time. I started somewhere in my early 20s, trading for over 15 years. So think you can learn anything from me, then head on over to ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. I really think I'm losing my voice. Anyway, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for listening.
First things first, I pop freaks all the honeys, dummies, playboy bunnies, those wanting money. Those the ones I like, cause they don't get Nathan but penetration. Unless it smells like sanitation. Garbage I turn like doorknobs. Heart throb never, black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. And my jam knocking your Mitsubishi. Girls pee-pee when they see me. Navajos creep me and they teepee. As I lay down laws like Island Coppet. Stop it, if you think you're gonna make a profit. Don't see my